I'm Marjo. I've been working and volunteering here at the Humane Society for about 3 years. I work specifically with the unsocialized and dogs that have poor behavior problems to work them down into adoptable pets. Today I'll be working with you to teach you how to properly walk the dogs so that both of you can have a good time out on the trails. Normally when you come in, it's an easy two-step process. Simply say hi to Lindsay or the other volunteer behind the desk and sign up on the sheet before you walk around back to ring the doorbell. Hey, would you like somebody with a lot of energy or do you prefer somebody who's a little less spirited?
It doesn't really matter.
Alright, I'll be right back. The first step is knowing what to wear. Obviously you're going to be walking dogs, so the best thing that you can do is wear something like tennis shoes or boots. Usually in Houghton we have a lot of snow, so obviously boots are going to be the best choice for days like this. But in the summertime you might be tempted to wear flip-flops, which would be a very poor decision as flip-flops have less traction, so you'll have a lot less control of the dogs. I recommend you always wearing sneakers. Also, dogs tend to jump, especially in this facility, so if you could wear long sleeves to prevent scratches, and definitely things that are not your best attire, as you're going to get dirty with the muddy weather and paw prints. This is Thumper, and he is going to draw half energy dog. Good luck and have fun.
Thanks.
First I'm going to start by explaining how to use a choke collar. I like choke collars because they work the best when used the right way. So this is a standard choke collar. You wrap it around and put it over their heads to their necks. Now it's very important when you do this to have it the right way. With you, if I'm right-handed, I'd have it this way so that it leads over and pulls through this way. This way you can see when it chokes, it instantly pulls back. It acts as a correction instead of a pull. Right now the dogs are used to pulling really hard with their collars. This is an instant correction. Along with the sound that it makes, it just shows them that they can walk a lot easier and have a much better time if they do it this way. If you have the choke collar on backwards, which has the lead pulling behind from underneath, instead of the correction working, it chokes up and it stays choked. This actually makes them pull harder and you're going to be unable to control them this way. You might also be getting a dog with a leash like this one. It has the choke built into it with a small loop like this. Again, you're going to wrap it the same way you would with the other. And make sure that that lead is coming through the top, around the top part, like this. It works the same way as the choke collar, only without the sound. These can be bought at Erickson's if you are going to become an avid volunteer here. For $1.35 you can have your own, so you can be guaranteed to have a choke collar whenever you come out. When you get your dog, he'll look like this. The choke's coming around this way, which means you're going to go on the right-hand side. See how it tightens and loosens immediately? Another way to control him is by keeping the collar up tight to his ears. This reduces the amount that he can do. If you have something up to the neck, he can only go forward in the way that you want him to. If you have it down here, he's going to have full access of his neck. One last thing is how to properly hold the leash. The easiest way is to put your hand through and wrap it around once and hold it like this. It's definitely not going to get away from you this way, except you'll have less control over the dog. I'd hold on to the dog right here, always keeping him by your side. Don't ever let the dog have the lead. I would also like to show you how you'll most standardly be given a dog. You'll be given to them with just the collar hooked to the collar. Now the problem with this, very quickly, is that they can pull. They have full access to you at any given time, so she can pull you around, and she's got full control because it's only at the very base of her neck. So you'll see people losing balance, losing control, being walked by the dog in these scenarios. My favorite thing to do if you're given a dog on this kind of collar is to make your own choke. Loop it around the same way that you would have with the other collars, and make sure that the choke goes the right way again before placing it around her neck. You have an instant choke collar now. Make sure that you hold it this way so that you can still keep the choke, and it's going left-handed now. So we're going to want Bismarck is a perfect example of what happens when an animal has been walked too many times the wrong way. Bismarck has been here for quite some time, and every time he goes out, he gets the pull. He's in charge. So I'm going to use him as an example because I've never used a choke collar on him before. So you'll see exactly what it'll be like for you in the first 30 seconds to a minute. We're going to start off. You can see his lead is the right way, going forward. I'm going to put it up to his ears and ask him to follow me. It's also really important right now to have the right kind of energy. I want to be walking. I'm walking, he's just here to follow. It's important to think that way because dogs follow the highest energy level, or the leader of the pack. So we're going to walk with my shoulders high, straight forward. You can see that I'm making just really quick movements with my hand and nothing else. Here's an example of somebody who's volunteering one of their first times with a choke collar too. We'll see how she does. Next, I'm going to show you how to walk somebody that has a little less courage. This is Brooklyn. She's shy, obviously. She's never been socialized. So in this case, it's the most important thing that you can do for her is to not baby her. She's in a very bad state right now, and simply by being the leader and walking confidently, you can give her the courage to also have a good walk. So we'll be doing the same thing as we did with the other two, only with a little slower. Here we go. You can see that she's got poor energy. She's scared of everything. The sounds that the snow makes underneath my feet, the parked cars, even the camera. So again, don't give her attention right now. You can see, by giving her attention right now, you're only nurturing this poor behavior. Wait until she relaxes before you give her a few pets. Another good thing to understand is when to give affection to the dog. First, always take him for a walk because it gives a little bit of the energy out of him. But Heidi here is a perfect example of when to give attention. She's calm, she's comfortable, and she's ready for some attention. This is Heidi. She's a good example of one of the dogs that shouldn't be walked with somebody else. Although she's sweet and kind to people, she can be kind of unpredictable around other dogs. So, when you see somebody out on the trail with another dog, don't automatically think that they'll get along. A lot of the dogs here don't like each other, so it's very important that you keep them a certain distance apart. The number one rule here is to always remain calm, because the energy that you feed to them, if you get so anxious or a little apprehensive, the dog's going to know it and will be more likely to attack the other one. So we'll demonstrate with Peppy and Craig. They're going to walk by and I'll walk by them. Craig is going to keep Peppy to his left, and I'm going to keep Heidi to my left. That way, we'll be between each other and not the dogs. If things didn't go so well and you do see yourself in a dog fight, the number one most important thing to do is to remain calm. They're only going to feed off of your anxiety. So keep your arms and your hands and your legs and every other part of your body away from their teeth and the fight itself. Use the leash to pull them apart. Again, just remain calm and pull them apart. They will move on at the walk and forget that it even happened in a matter of seconds. So you've had a successful walk. The very last thing to do is to come back and ring the doorbell again to let somebody know that you'd like to bring the dog in. At this point, you'll see a lot of overflow, people coming to the door at the same time. Craig here is going to demonstrate with Heidi exactly how far to stay away from each other that is appropriate. Keeping about 10 feet between the two dogs is a safe distance. I wouldn't let them meet and greet each other because you don't know if they're going to get along or not. After ringing the doorbell, somebody will come out to get your dog, and you can either ask to take somebody else, or you can go and say goodbye. The last thing is to make sure that you fill out a liability form before you can walk dogs. Just make sure that you have one for the current year, and then you're all set to go.